What's going on, people?
Alright, Festus.
SPOXEMAN in the place.
I was not so expecting that.
No, you weren't.
I was so not expecting that, Festus.
Listen, guys, it's been a brilliant day today. I'm being really sarcastic because the day sucked.
Sarcasm is of the devil, Festus.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Where's that? Is that in the book of Beto, chapter 5, verse 4?
The Virgin of Guadalupe forbid us in Mexico. With all the respect, but if I was a believer of the Virgin of Guadalupe, yeah, probably she will forbid sarcasm. So
Okay.
I'm still right. I'm still right? Right?
Well, yeah, I don't believe such things.
Unsubscribe. Right.
How's everyone doing today? Good? Good? Yeah, cool. That's fine.
Is everybody having a good day today? So Festus, people is asking me, when are you going to rap?
When am I going to rap? Do you guys want a preview? So
Yes,
should I drop a bar for you right now, yeah? I don't have a beat, guys.
No beat.
I don't have a beat, so it's going to be a cappella. And you might hear some road sounds because we're driving, but listen, yeah. Let me drop you.
Joe, listen. I feel like the rapture is coming sooner.
Let me just bust this corner. Guys, we're running low on fuel right now, so if the car, pray the car doesn't break down because we're trying to make it to the petrol station.
But people is like in the future from this video. I mean, like we're driving, and then when people sees this video, we're gonna be sorted because that means that the video has been uploaded and everything.
That is true. We're not lying.
So pray for the past.
Yeah,
pray for the past that we got enough fuel.
Maybe we should start streaming live.
Maybe I should pay for a better internet plan. So streaming live sounds like a good idea, really. But we need a good connection, and through the fields that we go through. Right? Sorry guys, my bad English. But the internet sucks. It goes from 4G to 1G, so it's not cool. So I believe recording right now is our best option. If you want to go with us in the trips, just let us know. You have to get to do something in Milton Keynes, by the way, because we go to work. But I have people saying, "Hey guys, I would like to go with you in the trip." Or I would like to have those conversations as well. If you're recording your conversations in your car and you want to send it to us, we will look into that conversation. We will watch that conversation, and we will put a short of that conversation, and then we will have a conversation about your conversation. It will be like conversationception. Yeah, conversationception. So conversationception probably will be a mode that we will acquire here. So yeah, Festus. So in the morning we were speaking about normal Christianity. What's normal? It's not enough just to be a good moral Christian. It's just not good enough to be a charismatical Christian. We have to have both. It was like Jesus was not pleased with that statement. Camera down. And we are back after that. I pressed the wrong button, ladies and gentlemen. But we are back. Thank Jesus. The Virgin. No, not the Virgin of Guadalupe. So yeah, guys. We were speaking about that this morning. And
we were talking about normal Christianity and average Christianity versus average.
Normal Christianity versus average Christianity. And here's the part where we speak about revival, right? Because revival is just a concept that we have created to excuse ourselves from being normal Christians. The Bible never speaks about revival. What we see is just Jesus being normal. And the apostles being normal Christians in the book of Acts. So sometimes revival gets mentioned as like if God was good enough to suddenly touch people for us to live in revival, or if God wanted to have us wanted us to have revival, and it's just not like that. I believe revival is just normal Christianity.
I agree.
So,
and we're also talking about, I think before we ended this morning, I was asking a question about what is it that hinders us from being a normal and keeps us, not actually getting to that place of normal, which is average,
Yeah.
And I think one of the things you mentioned was
higher voice, please.
one of the things you mentioned was fear.
Fear.
And also faith as well, wasn't it?
Faith. Selfishness.
So you mentioned selfishness.
Yeah.
Explain that again, please.
Yeah, I was saying that when we become selfish and comfortable. Comfortable. Yeah. I'm thinking about myself. Therefore, like, what if I go and extend my hand to somebody that is ill and they don't get healed? I'm just gonna be ridiculized. Or maybe I boast myself of being a man of prayer, that I pray like 24 hours, but I never go outside and pray for people. And I'm just here in my corner saying, "You do it, Jesus, you do it." But I never get responsible actually going outside, get relationship with people. So I believe in both sides. I believe prayer allows us to hear better the heart of God, but as well prayer should encourage us to go outside and do something with what we hear in prayer. I mean, all the times I see God speaking to men in Bible, He is calling them to action. He is not like, and this is what you have to pray for, and that's it. No, He is calling them for action. So I believe prayer should take us into action. Yeah,
that's true. I agree with that as well. But then the flip side of it, there's people who don't pray and all they want to do is action. Do you want to talk about that as well? Because you need to have, as you said, that balance. There's some people who believe in just good works. All they do is good works. They just act and do.
I don't want to speak about those. Yeah.
But they don't have any, there's no intimacy.
I believe prayer again will give you the strategy. Because the mission, we are all called to the same mission. We're all to go and preach the gospel, the good news, to raise the dead, heal the sick, feed the hungry. We all have the same mission, but prayer will give you the mission, the vision. The vision is the strategy of how you execute the mission. So, whereas all Christians we have all the same mission, God gives visions for different times, for different locations, for different segments of people. So the vision is really important to execute the mission. So you can be outside, as Festus was saying, and working hard, being super active, but if you lack the vision, you probably won't be as effective as you should. So one of the things is that when we say expanding the kingdom, right, is that we should know the king's heart in first place. That guy. There was a jaywalker. There was a guy jaywalking on the road. So yes, a lot of people is there for 30 years, right, doing the good work of the Lord, and no fruit. Why? Because they're not listening to the heart of God. So I just want you to think as God being as an investor, right? Where does an investor put his resources? Where there's people doing His will. So you can be outside having good intentions, but without knowing what are the intentions of the Lord, the King. Or maybe your perception of God is not right. And you think you're in the name of God doing something. And let me put the Crusades by example, right? They were going and killing a lot of people in the name of God. I believe God was there, really. They were killing a lot of people in the name of God. So, in order to extend the kingdom, you should know the king's heart in first place. Once you know the king's heart in first place, you know what to do. And then when you're doing what he wants you to do, he will extend his resources. And I'm speaking only about money. I'm speaking about your circle of influence, your connections, people who will help you, the supernatural, all these things that are actually resources from God. And we're gonna put some petrol right now. I'm just gonna cut this video right here, and I'm just gonna continue when Festus comes back. Yeah. And we are back.
So
that was a long pee.
it was a fuel stop. Better.
Fuel stop. Yeah, guys, I already ordered the other mount for the camera because this is not working really good for us. So we have to upgrade. As the channel is growing, our equipment shall grow as well.
Amen.
Amen. So this is a good time to tell you subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you like the content that we're doing, subscribe, thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you love it, and yeah, this is on the way. So yeah, therefore the kingdom thingy, I didn't want to touch kingdom right now, and I probably won't, but it's just one of those things. We were saying, don't just be a super moral Christian and no supernatural. Don't be just supernatural and you're a son of a gun. Have both, right? Try to have both. I believe it's not about balance, it's about being complete as he made us complete. So walking in the reality that we can live without sin, that we can live on power, and that we can live in connection with God. And so I will summarize our conversation in those concepts. What you thinking, Festus?
Yeah, I think it's right. You said it's not about balance, it's about being complete. I think that's quite profound, because personally sometimes I think you have to have balance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and some stuff
I'd be like, oh, you got to have a balance, but how do you know what complete looks like? What does complete look like?
You see Jesus.
You see Jesus.
You see Jesus. Jesucristo. Jesus Christ.
You see his manifestation.
Yeah.
When things are complete.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's all about the renewal of our minds. Identity. Your identity is determining because of your nature. Your nature determines your identity. Who you are related to determines your identity, your background. So what basically identity is what do you believe about yourself. I can know what you think about yourself for the things that you do. And probably in the video of tomorrow I will speak more about identity. We will talk more about identity, but the right identity is available for you because of the work of Christ. You see, when we were out of Christ, we had no choice but being sinners. We did know nothing better. But now that we're in Christ, we have a new nature. and the new nature allow us to have a relationship with God, and therefore we can have a good Father that tells us how good can we be. So that is a game changer. So that's why we call it the complete work of Christ, because the work of Christ enables us now to be who we're supposed to be. Without Christ, we could just pretend, right? We could just pretend that we're good, but it's not sustainable. We become religious without a change of mindset, and without the truth of the new nature, without reality, we just can become religious. It's like when you try to put apples into a Christmas tree. It looks good, but you know those apples won't last there. They will perish. So maybe you need to put some fake apples there, some fake fruit. They look good, but they have no life. So that's the religious spirit. We come and we do all the Christian things we're supposed to do, but there's no real fruit. It looks good to others, but inside we know it's not a real deal. So
you know inside yourself, what's real or not.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What advice can we give? So someone is in a situation where they've been doing average for a long time. Do you know what I mean? How do you transition from average into normal?
I think it's a good question. When you know normal, you're just bouncing from average to average. So you go to one place where you see a sample of Christianity, and then you think, well, Christianity is giving tithes, is clapping, it is saying Yeshua Rabashia, it is all of this stuff, right? Or maybe using a hat, or being Christian is doing all this stuff, right? And you see one sample, and then you go to another place and you see another sample. Well, you don't mix with the world. The world is so bad. You don't go to the movies because everything is the Antichrist, and then you just start learning rules.
Yeah.
But you are not learning, or you're not having that relationship with God. So I believe having that relationship with God in the intimacy, and going to His Word, going to the Bible, and as well looking for good guidance of the Bible. There's so much interpretations outside. So question the fruit. Remember, you can always value the prophets or the teachers because of their fruit. So when you see the fruit, if the fruit is good and lasts, well, you can tell, wow, there's something I can learn from here. And as well, there's some good teachings that were brought by people who fell in some moment. It doesn't mean that the teaching was bad, because the good teachings is up to individuals to apply. Yeah. So
you can even have knowledge.
Yeah.
Of good teachings. Jesus spoke up to the Pharisees, to the religious leaders. He says, he mentioned how they had the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
They didn't enter in themselves.
Yeah.
And they also stopped other people from entering in.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were equipped.
Good teachers. They were equipped.
I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So you can have that knowledge.
Yeah. I have a cousin who told me knowing the truth is just half of the way. In a way, everybody knows what's wrong, but it takes courage to surrender and to say, I'm not gonna do this, not because it's wrong, like it's just not convenient to me. It's not convenient to you doing the wrong. Doing the wrong is easy. Everybody can do the wrong. That's why it's so easy to become a gangster. It's so easy to become a mafia member. It's so easy to be part of a gang. But doing the right thing always requires effort, requires sacrifice, requires commitment.
Yeah, it does.
So I believe that's something. So going back to your original question, it's just like, know that if you're just coming to the Lord, giving fruit takes time. There's not tree that you plant today and tomorrow is giving a fruit. Nah. Or there's no fruits are natural. They're just part of growing. When you're walking through apple field, you don't hear the apple trees go like pop, an apple. No, they're just growing. It's part of natural growth. So your growth with Christ will show you, and will eventually you will get fruit. You will give good fruit. And it's like having a relationship with anybody. Eventually you start acquiring properties of the people you have relationship with. You start copying, you start mimicking, and it's not something that you're making effort into it. It's just building into you. It's infused. How you say fusioning?
Infused.
It's infused into you. So the same thing with God. When we have a relationship with God, He is not like forbid things to you. It's like, oh, when you're walking with God, you start like knowing, oh, He says this because these things are not good for me, and that the relationship of love that we're having right now. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of part of the answer to the question that Festus laid down. I know he knew the answer. He just laying down the questions for you guys. So
yeah, sure. That's exactly what I did.
Yes.
Makes notes.
So guys, this is the end of our journey today. Thank you very much for being with us, Festus.
Thanks, guys. As always, it's been a pleasure.
This is on the way. Thumbs up if you like the video.
Thumbs up.
Subscribe if you love it, and share it. Go and sin
no more.
Sin no more. See ya. Bye bye. Arroz.